Welcome to the show. All right. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, episode number, 17, I believe, or 18. One of the two. I can't bloody keep up with the numbers at the moment. I hope you guys are all well on this Wednesday night. It is currently 6:01 p.m. Hope you guys are doing well. G'day to the chat. We got NRL dry stuff here at the moment. G'day, bro. JC, Jimmy, Jam 09. How you going, mate? G'day, Ryan Woodley. G'day to Warriors, NRL Fanatics. G'day to Jimmy. Jason, how you going, mate? Up the Roosters, mate. Good luck on the weekend against the Panthers. Shout out to Daniel Bate over there in England. Hope you guys are doing well over there. Say g'day to the chat at the moment. Oh, people that are with me tonight. We've got NRL Vid 090, one of the co-hosts of the show. NRL Vids, how you going, brother?
Yeah, good, mate. I'm keen to get into the podcast yet again. Good to have Sam Revill, the other co-host, and good to see Champion Videos as the special guest. So, let's get into it, mate. Keen.
Sam Revill, mate, you are one of the new co-hosts of the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, mate. First of all, welcome. And, mate, how's it feel to be on the show now?
I'm so excited. Week to week, I get stuck into the meat of it all with yous on a Wednesday night, every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock from now on. I'm very honoured, and thank you very much for the opportunity. I won't let yous down.
Well, I really do appreciate it, bro. It was a very tough decision. There were a lot of people in the race. You were paying about $8 to be the co-host, and then you're back in about $1.10. So everyone was throwing their bank on you. It was unbelievable. You know, I freaking had a bloke ring me up the other day saying that Sam Revill has to be on the show. I threw my whole mortgage on him. I'm going, fuck me, mate. Gamble responsibly, you dickhead. Calm the fuck down.
A bit of pressure on my shoulders too.
Hey, you put pressure on me by making the decision. You know, I had to talk to Lorenzo. I had to talk to the board. It was very tough. And there were a lot of people in the race, and there was about 5 people in there. And I'm going, well, one bloke's throwing his mortgage on it, and if he doesn't win it, it's probably going to take me out. So I thought the best decision for the show would be to have Sam join the show. So,
thank you.
And special guest tonight, Champa Videos. Obviously, he goes for the West Tigers, and well, they're fucked for the rest of the year. But mate, Champa Videos, mate, how you going, bro? Thanks for coming on tonight.
Oh, I'm glad to be here, boys. Glad to see you guys doing well. It's always great being here on the Breakdown podcast. And well, you're right, the Tigers are fucked for this year, but there's still some good footy left to go, so I'm still keen.
Well, we'll see how the Tigers go against the Bulldogs on Sunday, which we will preview in a little while. But I need to address something that needs to be discussed about. As you guys would know who watch the Rugby League Breakdown podcast every Wednesday night, would be aware that Warriors NRL Fanatics has not been on the show fairly often. I have spoken to the board, I've spoken to the fans, and I have come to the decision to release Warriors NRL Fanatics off his contract early. He still had another year to go on his contract for the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, and I've spoken to NRL Vid 090, and we've made the very tough decision to relieve Warriors NRL Fanatics of his duties. He has been sacked. He has had very average connection. He hasn't really been committed to the show a whole lot. I think last week he spoke about wanting to watch the Rugby Union Sevens game over the show, which the board were very upset about. They were very, very frustrated. Mate, there was one bloke at the board the other day ringing me up saying, I want that Fanatics gone. He's fucking pissing me off. Got to go watch a Rugby Union game. And I'm going, well, look, mate, I'll talk to the board about it. And, you know, we've come to a very tough decision now, and we've decided to fire Warriors NRL Fanatics. Now, he has left on great terms. He will definitely be making an appearance on the show in the near future, without a doubt. I guarantee I'll have him on the show before the finals happen. So, Warriors Fanatics has been sacked, but it's on good terms. So, don't worry, everyone. It's not like a Todd Carney or a Josh Dugan situation where they've done stupid shit and got the sack. It's not like a situation where Mitchell Pearce fucked the dog and got sacked. It's on good terms. share the videos. Making me
Oh,
fucking
my
laugh here. But no, he's been let go, and we have made the decision to replace Fanatics with Sam Revill, and I think that will be a good decision for the show moving forward. But I'm just glad Royce Fanatics didn't go off his head. I mean, saying that, fuck you, Nick. I'm glad that didn't happen because it would have turned into an off-field rivalry on Rugby League History's YouTube channel. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But anyway, we're all on good terms, and we'll get him back on the show again soon, hopefully. Anyway, but get out of the chat. Everyone's going well tonight. It's going to be a good show tonight. We've got a lot of things to talk about. And, here's the other thing as well, just because he's been sacked of the show, he will be on the show. Again, trust me, he will be. I guarantee it. So it's good. Champion Videos is a special guest tonight, so it's going to be a good show, and we've got a few things to talk about. But what we're going to do, before we get into the show, we're going to give you guys about 30 seconds for more people to get in here, and then we'll rip into the show. We've got a new topic that we will start with as well. So, guys, we'll be back in 30 seconds.
30 seconds to follow goal and stop now.
Loving the drink. Two Cowboys, one Seagull, one Tiger.
All right, let's rip in. G'day, everyone. Right, I've addressed the little, the whole Fanatic situation. It's all sorted. Everyone's having a good laugh in the chat. So everyone sit back, enjoy the show, and have a great night. Also, I'll mention it really quickly. If you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. There is a link in the description below for PayPal. PayPal is the preferred option because the money goes straight into my account. If you use Super Chat, it can take a month to go in. So if you want to donate, feel free to do so. Well, that's Ripper Nil. G'day, everyone. Sports Hub, how are we? Right. Now, we've got a new topic, fellas, that we're going to talk about. A new topic. It's called Moment of the in the NRL and in rugby league in general. Moment of the round. So we're going to go around the circle here. And I want to ask you guys, what is your moment of the round? So we'll start with NRL Vid 090. Mate, what was your moment of the round for last weekend?
Yeah. Look, I can't go past Tommy Turbo's 3 tries and 3 tries. He was absolutely incredible against the Sharks Monday night. I think he's definitely in the frame to win the Daily M, and I think he should win it. Even though Cleary will probably be close, I still think Tom deserves it, nothing less. And I think just Tom carving up and doing his job is just to see, I reckon.
Yeah, I like it, bro. That was a great moment on Monday night when Turbo had an absolute field day against the Sharks, and yeah, I thought he was outstanding as well. Sam Revill, mate, what's your moment of the round from last weekend?
Just seeing all the players getting back in touch with their families again, man. Some of them haven't seen their families in months and months and months. So, yeah, I thought that was a really cool moment to see for the players. And hopefully that gives them just a little bit more oomph coming into September.
Yeah, I agree, bro. That was a great moment to see the players with their families. And I know the 14-day quarantine in the hotel would have been tough for everyone involved. So I'm glad. I'm really glad that moment was a good one. I like that. What about you, Chamber Videos? Your moment of the round, bro?
Well, my moment of the round was a try, the Jai Arrow try off the back of Latrell Mitchell's big run. Now, that whole game, Souths were just in control all the way through, but it was the run where Latrell Mitchell ran past Ben Hunt and 4 other players. He got tackled probably 2 meters off the line, and then just a nice ball up to Jai Arrow. He just goes straight through for the try. It just shows that Latrell Mitchell can be, one of the best players in the world and can be as dangerous as anyone when he just, put the breakers on and just charges straight through. So that was my moment.
Yeah, I agree, bro. That was a fantastic moment. I actually really enjoyed that. That was That was very good. My moment of the round is a little bit different. The other morning in the Super League game, George Williams, the former Canberra Raiders and Wigan halfback, he made his return to rugby league for the first time since that mental health issue he had when he was at the Raiders, when he got fired by Ricky Stewart. He got sacked and he got sent back to England. George Williams' debut game for Warrington the other morning against Leeds. It was 26 all. There was about a minute to go, and George Williams stepped up and kicked the field goal for Warrington to beat Leeds 27-26. And, you know, it's very good to see George Williams happy once again. You know, obviously the way it ended at Canberra wasn't good. You know, he had a bit of a bad day with mental health, and the Canberra Raiders just pretty much said, "Oh, we'll stuff you. We're going to get rid of you." They don't come back to training, and he left. And I'm pretty sure him and Ricky Stewart still don't talk. And so for George Williams to go back to the Super League to play for Warrington, his first game for Warrington, and to kick a field goal with a minute to go to win the game is just an incredible moment for mine. So, you know, it's good to see George Williams happy. You know, when he's happy, you know, he plays really well, and his time in the NRL was a very good one. So, good to see him back happy and playing footy once again. But let's whip it into the topics, lads. We've got a lot of things to get into tonight, a few controversial topics as well that we will get to as well. But we'll start off with this topic number 5. Now, should the NRL final system change from the top 8 to a top 6 because the teams that are currently sitting in 7th and 8th spot on the ladder have more losses than wins but may play finals footy? We'll start with you, Sam. Do you think the top 8 should change to a top 6, or would you leave it as it is at the moment?
Why ruin a beautiful thing, lads? There's 16 teams in the competition, gets cut in half by the time the regular season finishes, and Titans have won 2 in a row. Sharks, Newcastle, they can all string a couple of wins together and they could frighten team 5 and 6. Don't ruin a beautiful thing, I say. Keep the top 8 just as it is.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I mean, I can't disagree with you. I think you've made some great points there. What about you, NRL Vid 090? Would you keep the top 6, sorry, let me rephrase that. Would you go to a top 6, or would you just keep the top 8 as it is?
Oh, keep the top 8. I mean, I don't see the need to change it to 6. I think I've always known that, so that's all I have to say. Really, just keep it as a top 8 because I think it's just less confusion, and I just think 8's my preference, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you know, fair enough. You know, obviously you and Sam are pretty much agreeing with each other on that one. Champa Videos, mate, top 8, keep it, or go to a top 6 because of the quality? What do you reckon, bro?
Look, I understand the quality of this year. You might only think that 6 teams can actually make it, and the other 2 teams are just filling the top 8. But you got to keep in mind, this is just this year. We could come out next year, and there could be like bloody 10 teams looking to deserve a top 8 spot. Now, if you cut that down to 6, just having a top 6. You know, you're leaving other teams who, you know, could burst onto the scene and will miss a finals opportunity, but like finish 7th, but they can't make it because of that new ruling where it's just the top 6. I reckon if it's not broken, don't fix it. I reckon the top 8 is as fine as how it is. Yes, the quality may be a bit lacking this year, but you got to keep in mind this is just 1 year of 40 out of many years to come. So I reckon the top 8's fine how it is. I don't see any reason to change it.
All right. I agree. The top 8 must stay. Now, I know there's been a lot of talk about, there's only 5 teams that can win the comp and all this. Here's the thing. You really don't know what's going to happen in finals footy. It's a whole new competition. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing as well. You go back to the old system, the McIntyre system, where it used to be 1v8, 2v7, 3v6, 4v5. Now, it was a really weird system because if 4th had beat 5th, but if 7 had beat 2nd, then 5 would be out. But if all the top 4 teams had win their final game, and 6, if I had lost to 3, 6 would get another chance. It was a huge mess. It was chaos. But look, I think the top 8 has to stay as it is. But what I would do, I would change it a little bit, but I'd make it a bit better. So at the moment with the finals, you got 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, 5 versus 7, and 5v8 and 6v7. This is what I would do. I don't know if you guys will agree with this one. I reckon 1 should play 3rd, 2 should play 4th, 5 should play 7, and 6 should play 8. I think 1 versus 4 can be a little bit one-sided at times because, if you have a look at it right now, Melbourne are playing Manly. Yeah, that is a great game of footy. But then you have a look at 5 versus 8, for example. I think it's Roosters having a 5th at the moment, and 8th is the Sharks. Oh, not the Sharks. Who's in 8th spot at the moment? It's the hang on.
The Sharks.
Is it Sharks? Sharks in 8th, aren't they?
It's Sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks.
Yeah.
We all know who would win that game right now. But then if you have something like 6 versus 7, Manly versus Gold Coast, yeah, it's one-sided. But if you had Roosters versus Gold Coast, you might get a better game. I don't know if I'm just trying to mess it around too much here, but do you guys reckon that would be better? 1v3, 2v4, 5v7, 6v8? What do you guys think? Sam, what do you think about that?
I actually like that idea. I've had that thought before, man. Can I just add like another twist to it? Sorry,
Yeah, go on.
what happens in a couple of years, or not a decade, when 18 teams are in the competition? What happens to the final system then, sort of thing, or is that another discussion for another day?
I think what will happen then, if they do add a new Brisbane team, which I think they will, and a new team somewhere else, I think if you watch the NBA, they do a play-in thing where 7, 8, I think it's 7, 8, 9, 10, like they all play in like a sudden death game to make it in. I think it is.
To then play the top 6.
Yeah, I think that's how it would work. I think that would be a better way to do it because what you could do, you could have 1 versus 3, 2 versus 4. The winner of those games go to a preliminary final. For 5 versus 6, it's just another game. And then I think 5th plays the winner of 7 versus 9, and then 6th plays the winner of 8 versus 10. You could do it that way. That way, 10 teams are in the comp. You're giving 7 to 10 an opportunity to maybe make it into that top 8 to play against 5th or 6th. And then the other teams from 12 onwards just don't deserve to be anywhere near the finals. So I think a play-in system like they did in the NBA last year, or this year I should say, would be a good thing because we saw it in the NBA. I think Golden State played Memphis, and there was another game. I think Boston played Washington. I know it's a bit off topic, but that could that's what I would like to see happen. If I had 2 more teams, I think a play-in system like they did in the NBA would actually be a good thing to go with. But Champa, would you go with a play-in system with 2 more teams?
Well, I'm not sort of familiar with how the play-ins work in NBA. I'm not really the hugest NBA fan, but what you explained there, I can see working in the NRL if they do.
Yeah, I did too.
If they do want to bring in 2 more Brisbane teams, if they do want to keep the 8, if 2 Brisbane teams, I feel like there's a lot of teams that could be deserving of a finals appearance. So I reckon the play-ins, like you said, that could work. As if the NRL really wants to go with something like that, it might just keep the traditional top 8.
I'll tell you what, if they add 2 more teams in, the new Brisbane team and a new team, Central Coast or New Zealand or wherever it ends up, you got to move to top 8. You can't have a top 8. You've got to change it to a play-in. I'm telling you, you can't have a top 8 if it's 18 teams. You've got to go to this play-in thing that the NBA did. It was so entertaining because then here's the thing, right, with the NRL, the broadcast, people that watch the footy. How are you going to be why would you be excited to watch a game like Melbourne versus Brisbane or Penrith versus Canterbury? You're going to get excited for that game, but if you have a play-in system, you're going to have 7 versus 9 or 8 v 10. Imagine this weekend, Sharks versus Dragons, the winner makes the 8, the loser goes home. Or Titans versus Raiders, winner gets in, loser goes home. I mean, you'd get a huge crowd. It'd be worth going to attend the game. There's something on the line there. I think it's a no-brainer. NRL Vids, do you think a play-in system would be good if I had 2 more teams in the competition? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go. I mean, that's definitely something you can consider. Yeah, and that's how they went with it. So yeah, I mean, with the new two teams coming in, I think you got to really think about that sort of stuff. How the process of finals will go, and I guess the other thing is like you got to look out for all that sort of stuff when it comes to those two teams coming in. If it's Central Coast or Brisbane, that's what you got to look out for, I reckon. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
What
I like it.
What I also want to add is it gives teams more to play for, because when
Yes.
you get to this back end of the season, teams like you said, the Raiders, the Knights, the Warriors, the Tigers, since they're, as of right now, they're nowhere near making the 8. It looks like they'll just give up on the season and just have an easy ride home. Where if you have this sort of stake in for the teams, that they play harder, they play more competitive, and showing that they still want to make the finals because of this playoff. So I reckon it shows it can bring the best out of teams.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add to it? Was that it? Move on.
Negative.
All right, move on. All right. Topic number 4. Now, this is something that I am very, very passionate about. I didn't want to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up because it's on the notes for tonight. What are the West Tigers and the North Queensland Cowboys lacking to becoming a finals team once again? Now, I'm going to start with the West Tigers. Champa Videos, you're a Tigers fan. You know what goes on at the Tigers. Mate, what are they lacking to becoming a finals team once again? It's been 10 years now.
Yeah, I got really into detailed in a video I made about the West Tigers. Just to summarize it, teams are bad. They have bad years, but if you're bad for 10 years, it's something much worse. And it's a problem that's been really bad and really just hurting the Tigers from players working well with each other, with locker room, and just the locker room inside wars happening between coaches and players, poor management. It just reflects on the team, and what happens behind closed doors. It reflects on the field, and it's happened a lot with the Tigers. We haven't sort of brought a team that can gel together and that can work well, because you're only as good as your weakest link. Okay. And there are tons of weak links for the Tigers that you can just look at the whole team and just write them off at the start of the year. We need to find a sort of system where we can just work well and just gel together as players. There's no chemistry in the team. We can't work well. And I feel like maybe the talent is a bit lacking as well. I can go on about the West Tigers, but I really feel like the huge problem at the Tigers is a lack of talent and just a lack of chemistry in the side. We can't work well with each other, and it just shows in our performances.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Do you think Jackson Hastings and Oliver Gildart will be good for the Tigers next year, or do you think they need more than that?
Well, it's a good start. I'll say that. It's a good start. Now, I don't follow the Super League as much as you blokes do, but from what I've been hearing about these players, especially Jackson Hastings, they seem to be game-changing players. So it will be a good addition to the Tigers. We got to offset this once. I'll say it again. We got to let Luke Brooks go. The whole experiment with Luke Brooks has just not worked. He doesn't seem. He's good on his best days, but when he has a poor game, he's terrible.
Yeah,
and we couldn't try and find the halves combination that can suit him. Now, if they want to bring Jackson Hastings over and have him pair up with Luke Brooks, all right, we can see how that works. But if it doesn't work, don't keep working. Don't keep having that same combination. Let Brooks go. Bring in Dewey or whoever else. I reckon they really need to look for next year. And if Jackson Hastings is, going to be our long-term halfback, which I feel like he will be, need to find a good combination there. It all starts with the halves, because the halves control the game. And if you don't have a good halves pairing, you don't have a good team. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, you made some really good points there, and I have to agree. It's going to be very interesting to see how that all goes about. But excuse me, I got the bloody hiccups now. Sam, what do you think the Tigers are lacking to be a finals team, bro? What do you think they're lacking?
I don't know why players don't want to go to a club like the West Tigers. Forget about the boardroom stuff. You get to play at Leichhardt Oval, Campbelltown Stadium 3 times a year. You get prime time positions when you put on a West Tigers jersey. On Sunday afternoon footy, you get all the exposure that you could want. You get blockbusters every second, third weekend, and get around players like Adam Dewey and Stefano Camano. That is the backline superstar and the forward superstar, in my opinion, for the future of the West Tigers club. But it's got to be the boardroom stuff, mate. It's got to be an absolute shambles and an embarrassment to not link up with the West Tigers. For example, look at Latrell Mitchell, who had the absolute bank thrown at him a few months ago or last year, and he said, "Nah, no, thank you, mate. I'll take a bit of a lesser paycheck and join up with South Sydney." It's got to be the boardroom stuff.
They're not stupid. They're not going to a club where they know their career can die. And a lot of players have joined the Tigers, haven't turned out their best. But once they join other teams, let's say someone like Ryan Madison, play the best footy of their careers. So it just shows. Before I get to NRL Vid 090, I was watching a little bit of Channel 9 news last night, the sporting part, obviously. The sporting part normally comes on about 6:40 or something. And James Tarmo was having an interview with someone, and he said something about, it's all on me, maybe I wasn't, hard enough. Maybe I wasn't doing this enough, And I'm just going, why is James Tarmo taking the blame for this shit? You can't be fucking serious. Why is the captain, James Tarmo, taking the blame for the West Tigers having another failed season? I think it's ridiculous. I thought it was poor, and it felt like so many plays before James Tarmo.
It really felt like that. I felt sorry for him because the interview was like, why is he taking the blame for it? It's not his fault. Tarmo's not the blame for it. Are you serious? Like, come on. It's just ridiculous. NRL Vid 090, mate. How the hell do you fix the West Tigers up, mate?
Oh, fucking dude. I don't know even where to start, actually. There's so many things I can go by. Exactly. Like, I can go by so many things. There's just so many things. Like, I will say that the board is obviously one thing you have to really look at as well at the same time, because obviously, you want to have a good back room, I guess, for the club to be healthy, I guess, just rooms. I mean, they have that guy, Lee Hank Batellis. I can't see his name, but it's their someone like obviously been questioned a few times. There's also Pascoe. He's also, ever since he's been at the Tigers, they've missed finals and doesn't seem to go. He's reputation. He's got to go. I've seen.
Doesn't know how to run a club.
Yeah,
got no idea.
Like he's from what I've read about him, there doesn't seem to be anything good about him. But with the players, I feel like it's just a recruitment thing, a retention thing. Because you look at, I think we've seen many times already, like we've all seen it, that there's been teams of like Tigers that players let go of, like, teams like Adokar, Tapau, and Pappenhaus, and they've all put those in one team, and they show what players the Tigers have let go of. And obviously that's a concern, if you ask me. And you can see they've already won premierships or they've been in many finals games. So I think it's just a bad look because, retention is obviously a big part and just what players have there. Because I feel like there's a lot of deadwood in the Tigers team. So, just to start off with, I think they've got to go from a good rebuild. And I think they just need some better players, better positions. And, yeah, it's a tough situation, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, I've got some issues with Tigers, and it'll be very interesting if they make any more signings going into next year. Right, let's move on to another team. Right, Sam, our boys, the Cows. 4th year in a row, we're going to miss the 8. We missed the finals 2018, 2019, 2020, and by the looks of it, 2021. The Cowboys have to win every game now to make the 8, which just ain't going to fucking happen. We don't have a Jared Hayne. We don't have a Ben Barber. or a Tommy Turbo or a Tedesco who can do anything like that. We got no one like that. Unless Val Holmes turns into some fucking superstar freak, then, mate, I don't think we're going to make the finals again, and I'm disappointed, bro. That shit needs to change up in Townsville, bro. We sacked Paul Green last year. We get Todd Payton. It's a new year. Couple of new players, not really much. Same shit, but new coach. New coach, same shit, different year. Mate, what the fuck is wrong with the Cowboys, and what are they lacking to becoming a top 8 side once again?
They have signed 3 halves players in Drinkwater, Dearden, and Townsend that I don't see taking us to another grand final in the next 10 years. The North Queensland Cowboys have re-signed maybe 3/4 of the current squad for the next season and the season beyond that. Where are we going to evolve and become a better squad? And Todd Payton is at the moment not proving to be that saviour for the Cowboys that he was proving to be for the Warriors, ironically enough. And I could go on and on, mate, but Valentine Holmes at this current time, not only is he going to be playing through the pain, he's going to be needled up for the next couple of weeks, which I say, don't bother playing then, mate. Get yourself right. But he's been a failure since he's joined. I don't know how he got into the Queensland Origin side. Players have dropped in form, and I'm going to say it. I hate saying it. I think I said it to you weeks ago. Jonathan Thurston, mate, we are in a Newcastle position where Joey Johns was so big for the Knights that they didn't make finals for XXXX amount of years. And I fear that's what's up for us as well now, man. Jonathan Thurston was such a key for us that we've been such a bunch of mopey bastards. Sorry for swearing, but a bunch of mopey bastards for the past few years. And this year it felt like we were trying to do something different, and we've fallen face first, base over apex, and the retention, mate. We've kept absolutely nobody over the past couple of seasons. So, what's the answer? It's a fucking pineapple at the moment, isn't it? So I think there's going to be a bit more pain for the Cowboys for the next two seasons, mate.
Mate, what I'd be doing, I'd be giving Todd Payton till the end of the year. And if Todd Payton starts next year, say 2-8 or 3-9 or whatever the record may be, if he is going shithouse, the Cowboys in the same spot, I'd be throwing the checkbook at Wayne Bennett. I'm not even joking. Joking. Wayne Bennett's a genius. Wayne Bennett's one of the best coaches that's ever coached in rugby league. And yes, I agree with the Jonathan Thurston hangover. Newcastle, when Joey left in 2007, he retired. I think Newcastle didn't play finals till 2011. I think it was the 4 years they missed the 8. And then I got Wayne, I think 2012. So it has happened. It really has. So this is going to be the 4th year now that we are not going to play finals footy. And I am very frustrated as a supporter, and I'm just sick and tired of the same shit. But, mate, it comes down to recruitment as well. We didn't buy anyone. We bought Lachlan Burr. Big deal. What's he going to fucking do? Yes, I'm glad we are bringing some of the young kids through, like Lukey. I think he's a player who can be really good. Tamalolo needs to be playing more minutes. I don't care about Todd Payton's strategy.
The best player in the team.
I don't give a fuck about this bullshit about, you got to save him for the back end of his contract. That's absolute bullshit. You're setting up for failure if you're going to fucking do that. So, look, I've got some good players there. You know, Hess has been great in the middle. Jordan McLean's been very average again. I don't know what's wrong with him. I think if I was the Cowboys, I'd be going out and looking for an experienced forward like maybe an Aaron Woods or someone like that for a year just to see how it goes. Maybe a young forward, maybe like someone like Thomas McKaylee. I know he's at the Tigers, but he's a young Queensland forward. He'd be a nice guy to pick up.
Or maybe Takeaho as well.
Yeah, he's another one who could be available. Another one that I would like to see get picked up as well is a back rower, maybe someone like Curtis Sheridan, who's not going to be getting much time at Manly in the back. Where I was talking to Paddy G the other night when we lost to the Broncos, and I said, mate, do you see any positives? And there wasn't much you could really say about it. And I'm like, Curtis Sheridan could be available because Manly have got Ola Kawatu, I've got Schuster, I've got Kepi, I've got a few other forwards there in front of Sheridan. So I think targeting other players like Curtis Sheridan, Aaron Woods, even for 1 year, see how they go. But I'm telling you, mate, Todd Payton's under a lot of pressure next year. And here's the other thing as well. I don't think the Cowboys' backline is that bad. When they're full strength, the backline's very good. Next year, bro, fullback will be Val, wingers will be Felt, Talangi, centers, Hammer and Hiku. Very nice backline.
But does Valentine Holmes deserve to be fullback though, mate?
No, bro. I'll be having Hammer. I'll be having Hammer at fullback, Val on the wing. Put Talangi in the centers and see how it goes. But Drinkwater 6. Townsend at 7, I think, is a good signing. I know he's been a bit shitty at the Warriors, but I think it's because of the Warriors system and how homesick they would be at the moment. So, look, I think they need to get another front rower like someone like Aaron Woods who's got experience, a back rower like Curtis Sheridan who's got experience as well, and, plenty of young bloods coming through there. I think Thomas McCallum would be a good guy to look at as well. So, lot to work on. I think Reece Robinson's a future captain for us, bro. I don't know if you agree with that, but I think Reece Robinson's a very good player and a good leader. And every week he's in our top 3 best players. If we win or lose, he's always in our top 3 best on ground for us, anyway. So, mate, we got a little bit to work on, but I don't think we're that far away from finals as people would say. Everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's another bad year," blah blah blah. I don't think we're that bad. I really don't. If we can just get our defense right, our attack will work itself out. So, mate, another front rower, a back rower, and get our defense going, and I think we could be a lot better next year. What do you think? You reckon, Sam?
No, I don't see us making finals next season. Maybe watch out for us in 2023, mate, but I don't see us making finals next season and definitely not this year as well.
What about you? What about you, NRL Good 090, mate? What are the Cowboys lacking, in your opinion?
Look, I don't know. I don't think they're lacking much. Like, I'll be honest, I don't think they're lacking much. I think they've got like the right players in that squad. They've got players like Hamiso, who's a great young player. Val Holmes. They've got a good squad. I reckon they do have a good squad. Youth experience at the same time, but it could be the injuries. Like, I don't know what you and Sam think about this. There's been a lot of injuries to the Cowboys over the years, and I just think it's unlucky because I think injuries will take a toll on teams, and I think with Cowboys, we've seen it more than we've seen it more with them most years. So I don't know. I think injuries is just to the key players is obviously taking a toll. Like Michael Morgan was, supposed to be really half for the Cowboys, but since injuries got him in the end, he retired. And Val Holmes had some injuries, I think, as well. So it's just a luck, I think, in the same time, because I think the Cowboys are at full strength. I think they're a top 8 team. That's just my opinion. I think they are a top team at full strength. But I think maybe in time, maybe Todd Payton isn't the answer. Like, I think Payton, it's his first year. I know he's going to get used to it all, but I reckon if he does keep struggling for like the start of next year, and maybe just lose a couple more games at the end of this year, it might have to change, I reckon. So yeah, I don't think Cowboys are far away though. Let me put it that way.
Great points, mate.
I want to mention this with the Cowboys, with the Cows, with Todd Payton. You're talking about the injuries. We have the second most injuries in the competition. The Roosters have the most. They are 1 game away from the fucking top 4. Cowboys have the second most injuries, and they're in the bottom 4. Now, this is where you got to have depth. This is where you got to have quality. And if you don't have depth, you're fucked. Like, I don't care what anyone says. If you do not have depth for your good players, you are going to fail. I'm sorry, but it's true. If someone goes down injured for South Sydney, Benji Marshall comes straight in the halves. If someone goes down for Manly Seagulls in the halves, then in comes Josh Schuster. Same with the Roosters. Luke Keary went down. Everyone goes, they're fucked. They're not making the 8. In comes Sam Walker. It's about depth. It really is. It's about depth. It really is. Yeah, Chamber, what do you think about the Cowboys, bro? What do they need to be, bro? Like, what do they need to be a finals team again?
Well, yeah, you're right about one thing, and that is depth, right? When you're training, you're not just training the lineup team that goes on and plays the game. You're training a bunch of other juniors that trains with the NRL side, so they're training at the same session. So there's going to be depth there. And another thing maybe is the coaching quality. When I saw that the Cowboys took on Todd Payton, I was a bit confused about that. If they were thinking of trying to make it an Anthony Seibold out of him, I didn't see it happening. He doesn't have the best resume. I'm pretty sure this is his first official year of coaching.
Yeah.
An actual NRL side. So of course, yes, it was going to be tricky. But when you look at the Cowboys, you look at a top 8 side. You look at a side that had the best player of all time in your side. So you got to live up to that expectations, and I don't think he has yet. And maybe he is a recruitment as well. I mean, 4 years ago, you had Jonathan Thurston, again, best player of all time. And to solve the solution of getting a good halfback, to take on Chad Townsend, in my opinion, a B-average halfback. So I reckon the recruitment is a big thing. Then again, you got players like Val Holmes and the Hammer, who are dynamite. But if the whole team's not playing good, it affects on the whole side. So, yeah, you just need to get the right players, and I'll see you guys being dominant again.
Well, I hope so. And here's the other thing. Everyone's like, Chad Townsend's a bad signing. I don't think he is. I really don't. I think he's won a premiership at halfback. He knows how to do the job. He just needs to be in the right team with the right combinations. Have a look at Anthony Milford, for example. Look at Anthony Milford. At the Broncos for so many years now. It's been terrible, playing awful footy. You put him in a team like the Bunnies, who's going to have Latrell, Cody, Damien Cook, Cameron Murray. Watch Anthony Milford thrive in that environment. You put Chad Townsend in a side like the Warriors, who have been away from their family for about 2 years, so haven't been able to go back to New Zealand. They're going to struggle to keep it up the whole year. That's why they're going so shit right now. You look at the Cowboys, I think Drinkwater and Val Holmes and the Hammer are going to work well with Townsend. Townsend's played with Val Holmes in big games before. They won a grand final together. And you go back to 2018. Before Valentine Holmes went over to try out the gridiron, guess who was the halfback when Val Holmes was the best player in the game in 2018? It was Chad Townsend. So I think there's a lot of pressure on the Cowboys next year. And if Todd Payton doesn't get the Cowboys fired up early on in the year, then Todd Payton's fucked, I think. I think he's got probably to round 12 next year. If he has a negative record, like a bad one, like 2-8 or 3-9, then I think he's fucked. So lots of pressure on the Cows next year. And, no one's going to put them in the top 8 because, people have just given up on the Cowboys. But there's a lot of pressure on them next year. I'm telling you right now, this year has been a disaster. A lot of pressure on them next year. I really believe that.
I'm always optimistic when it comes to the Cowboys, mate. But, I mean, after the 2017 Grand Final run, 2018 was supposed to be that year where Matt Scott and JT came back for us and set him off into the sunset. Our club has not been able to deal with the expectation, as Champa has alluded to. And so I'm always optimistic, but, these days, mate, it's hard to be. But anyway.
Well, I think as well, I think at the start of the year, there were some people that were high on the Cows, some people that weren't, and I think next year, no one's going to give us any hope, so maybe that'll be better for us to just write us off. But anyway, let's move on. Topic number 3. Where should the NRL Grand Final be played at? Now, obviously, it ain't going to be at Stadium Australia in Sydney because the virus in Sydney at the moment, as I'm sure Champa Videos and NRL Vid 090 are well aware of, definitely ain't going to happen now. You walk out your front door, you're going to have a mask on, otherwise you might get arrested. Who knows? And it ain't going to be sure as hell ain't going to be at Stadium Australia. Suncorp Stadium is the favourite, but the virus up in Brisbane's starting to get a little bit out of control now. There's talk of New Zealand having it. There's talk of Melbourne. There's even talk of potentially having it in Canberra or something. Who knows? But I want to start with you, Sam. Where would you have the NRL Grand Final?
I would die in the arse if they came out next week and they said, New Zealand, the entire final series is yours because you can guarantee us our safety. You can pack out stadiums. I understand that financially to move every Tom, Dick, Harry and Sally internationally would cost a bomb, and the broadcast deal financially as well would be very expensive as well. But to know that we could get an absolute sellout of a grand final, a final series at Eden Park, it'd be brilliant for New Zealand. Brisbane, the Queensland government, showed a little bit of, I don't know, you can't really trust them. If they get another few more virus cases, come closer to September, are we going to have a whole final series under lockdown with shut gates and everything? And the MCG, well, don't get me started on bloody Victoria.
So you wanted it in New Zealand?
New Zealand.
All right. NRL Vid 090, bro. Where do you want the grand final to be played at, bro? ANZ Stadium or Stadium Australia looks absolutely cooked. Where would you have the grand final at?
Queensland Country Bank Stadium, actually, in Townsville. That's where I prefer to have it. I'll tell you why, because I think the MCG, I wouldn't want to play it there because Melbourne, the cases there are a bit, iffy with the cases over there, so I wouldn't want to go there just yet. Look, I prefer Suncorp over Townsville. Like, if the fans were allowed and if the cases were better in Suncorp, but yeah, look, I don't know. I think taking it to New Zealand won't happen. I can't see that happening. It would be good. Happen probably. Actually, I don't know.
Townsville for NRL Vids. Very interesting. Chamber Videos, brother. Where would you have the grand final?
Well, there's no doubt about it that this grand final is going to be very different because it's not going to be played in Sydney. So, talks in New Zealand, talks of having it at Suncorp, and NRL Vids have just said Townsville. If they're going to take it to New Zealand, that's going to be pretty difficult to do. Trying to, you got to think about the fans, because I think we all know that the Warriors aren't going to make the finals this year, and that usually is probably the main sort of team that follows it in the in New Zealand. So I don't really see it having a good selling in New Zealand. Of course, a lot of people will come to watch the grand final, but I feel like where you can get the best crowds, maybe at Suncorp, if things go better and if they're allowed fans back in the stadium, I wouldn't mind seeing it at Suncorp. I feel like it's it's overdue to have a grand final there. I mean, I think it's second best to Stadium Australia in terms of stadiums. I would have it at Suncorp. That's if things get better.
We've all gone different. Sam's gone. He reckons take it over the Dutch to New Zealand. Lorenzo reckons we should have it in Townsville. Chamber's saying Suncorp. I reckon I should have it in Canberra. I don't think Canberra's had a case, have they? Canberra hasn't had a case.
No, mate, we've been good for well over a year now, mate. Well over a year. Give me a ticket. Hell yeah.
Go to Canberra. Have it in Canberra. Why not? It'd be a day game. Have it at daytime as well, by the way. Grand finals on a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Fucking perfect. Perfect. It wouldn't be cold. You beat the cold weather. Fly in, fly out if you have to, depending on the situation. I think Canberra would be a great option. I really do. You can fit 25,000 people there at GIO Stadium. You could get people to have, they got the COVID test before you walk in. You get scanned and all that, whatever. I think Canberra would be a great option. New Zealand's good as well, but moving everyone over there just for a grand final would just be a pain in the ass, I think, with the broadcast. So Canberra hasn't had a case. Perth won't work. Adelaide won't work. Melbourne can go fucked for all I care. I think Canberra is perfect. I can't see the situation in Queensland getting better at all. I think Canberra would be good. Someone said Darwin, that's the Bundy chick. I think Canberra would be the best option for it, but we've all got a different view on it, and hopefully it gets played somewhere with fans in anyway, because it'd be fantastic. Topic number 2. This is something that I'm a little bit pissed off about. The Rugby League World Cup.
Oh,
It looks like it's about to get postponed. There'll be an announcement probably fucking tomorrow now or tonight, who knows. But the Rugby League World Cup. My God. It looks like it's going to get postponed to next year. Chamber Videos, you look like you want to say something, mate. Go on. What do you reckon?
Mate, we have the Olympics on right now. What makes this any different?
Yeah.
Tell me, you're having it in Tokyo. From what I'm seeing, COVID cases are a bit popular down in that area, or the virus seems to be popular or something down there. I don't see what the problem of having the World Cup was. What was the problem of having the World Cup? I mean, Australia and New Zealand pulled out. We had solutions for that. The Indigenous All-Stars and the Māori All-Stars. Looks like the government was too scared and just. I mean, you postpone it to next year. Isn't the FIFA World Cup on next year?
Yep.
So, well, you got a clash there. You got broadcasting clashes there. I feel like this was a really stupid idea. I didn't see any problem with the World Cup being on. It seems like everything was going fine. You had two of your big teams pulled out, but we had solutions for that. And well, honestly, I just feel like it's just a dumb decision made by the government. Not the first one they've made, but well, I'm really pissed off about it because I was really excited to see some World Cup footy, and now I'm not going to see it. First, my team doesn't play, and then now the World Cup isn't on altogether. I'm pissed off.
NRL Vid 090, mate. What do you reckon? Should the World Cup go ahead, or do you think cancelling the World Cup to next year would be the best solution, mate? What do you reckon?
Oh, it's pathetic how it's all cancelled together, mate. Like, I think it should go ahead. I think if the Olympics can go on in Tokyo, at the moment, then why can't we just send the I guess go ahead with the World Cup in England? Is it like where it is? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, England. Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what the issue is. I mean, I just think cancelling it altogether is just a big problem because we didn't last year. We're not going to have it this year. I just think there's no point postponing it because even next year, like I've heard already, there's going to be like the soccer World Cup or something like that. It's on next year. Obviously, that could be 3 years without the World Cup. It's pretty disappointing, I've got to say, because I wanted to see Australia. Well, Australia's already pulled out, but I want to see Italy getting there. Disappointing if World Cup did go on. And look, I don't know. It's just disappointing. It's pretty fucked. I got to mention.
Go on, Sam. Floor's yours, mate.
Tokyo, Japan, they're in a state of emergency right now because of the pandemic. Peter V'landys could oversee the entire freaking tournament. And as he said, and as we all know, the Rugby League have absolutely aced it as far as no player has contracted the virus at all because it is the most restrictive, strict, best rules in place for sport anywhere on the planet. So for it to not go ahead this season, it's a disgrace by the governing bodies that don't want the players to go, and the players do want to go. That's the queer thing. That's the problem. They all want to go.
Let's have the Rugby League World Cup in Byron Bay. What do you reckon? Let's have it in Byron. Let's move it to Byron Bay. Let's have it on the beach. And if you get tackled into the water, you're knocked out of the finals. Let's do it that way. Let's have it in Byron Bay.
That seems that would work more.
Let's have it in Byron Bay, and you have to wear face mask and you have to wear gloves so you don't get attracted to the virus. What a fucking joke! Seriously, What a
Perfect.
fucking joke. Honestly, I feel fucking sick, you know. If I had a bucket right now, I'd love to fucking throw up. Seriously. Are you fucking serious? Now, it's bad enough when the grand final fucking ends and there's no footy on. And the World Cup's on you. Yes, November, World Cup. But now there's no footy on you. Got November, nothing to do. December, nothing to do. January, 3 months of bullshit. Fucking boredom.
If any of you guys know who was the one that actually greenlit this postpone, who was the one that was actually behind just this all getting shut down?
It was the NRL and Peter V'landys and all them people, because the England people that are doing it over there, they want to go ahead. I believe the Prime Minister of England wants it to go ahead. What's his fucking name? What's that bloke's name? Can't remember his bloody name. But he wants it to go ahead.
But it was, of course, Peter V'landys. And
hang on, I need to address this as well. I need to address this. Since when did Australia and New Zealand fucking have the Rugby League World Cup revolve around them? Since fucking when? Since when? This is international rugby league. This is not the Australia and New Zealand Rugby League world against the fucking rest. This is an international competition that happens once every 4 years. The game does not revolve around Australia and New Zealand. Yes, it may be the best rugby league competition going around, the NRL and all that. No doubt about that. I agree. But when the fuck did it revolve around them? This is absolutely bullshit. Now, Champa, I agree. They went to fucking Tokyo for the Olympics. People are loving it. Everyone's watching it on television. It's going great. Yes, there's no crowds in because of the fucking, the virus, and everyone's getting the fucking needle in their arm, whatever. But come on, man. This is an absolute joke. And yet, thank you, National Sports Loaded. Boris Johnson, that's his name. He wants it to go ahead. He really does. Now, another thing that I find weird as well, by November, they're talking about if players get vaccinated, which we'll talk about very soon, they don't have to quarantine. And all I do is go get a COVID test. If they're negative, they're all good to go. But the NRL like, no, we don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. Well, come on, man. I can guarantee you this. There is 17 players in Australia and there are 17 players in New Zealand that will be more than happy to have the vaccine, and they'll be happy to go to the Rugby League World Cup and play for their country. But no, they're so worried about it. It's a fucking absolute joke. And you know what? I'm disgusted with the people that have made this decision. And you know what? It's just bullshit. And I feel sorry for the teams like Cook Islands, France, Jamaica. This was their best opportunity to be showcased in the Rugby League World Cup. And now that's going to be postponed to next year. Next year, when they're in the World Cup, all we're going to hear about is Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa, England. No one's going to give a fuck about the other nations. So I'm a little bit pissed off about it. And I think the NRL and all the people involved there have made a really dumb decision. And they should be ashamed of themselves because the Rugby League World Cup does not revolve around them.
It's almost as if Australia and New Zealand are so worried about the spotlight not being on them that they will ruin it for other fucking countries. It's ridiculous.
And they're so worried about getting the virus. Why not ring up one of the organisers from the fucking Tokyo Olympics? Give them a call and say, hey, what did you do to have the Olympics go ahead? Can you give me some advice? Come on. This is an absolute joke. I should be the president of the Rugby League World Cup. I'll make the cunt go ahead. I'll play one game at Byron Bay. I'll play one game on the fucking beach. I'll have one game on fucking Mars if you have to. I don't care.
Yeah.
Have the fucking thing go ahead.
They're gonna have the FIFA World Cup next year. So just bring them up. Be like, hey, fellow World Cup team, how do you go ahead with a World Cup? How do you make it safe? I don't understand. It's almost as if the NRL just doesn't know what they're fucking doing. Or the World Cup.
I don't know.
And you don't want to have the Rugby League World Cup on the back page, do ya? You want them fair on the front page, don't ya?
Exactly.
If it's going to go ahead.
Because there's no doubt they have it next year. It's going to be shunned by the fucking FIFA World Cup, and you just read in the small article. Meanwhile, in Rugby League World Cup, you don't want that.
No.
Mate, when the Rugby League World Cup does go ahead next year, I'm I'm going to call Rugby League history up. I'm going to say, mate, can you get the local paper and can you show me all of the stuff about Rugby League World Cup? Because it's going to say FIFA World Cup, England and Italy and all this bullshit. And then in the back page, you're going to have this little bit of article here. Oh, in other news, Jamaica have beaten France 16-14 in a great game of rugby league. And then that'll be it. No one will talk about nothing else. That'll be it. It's a fucking joke. And, you know, I'm really fucking pissed off about it. And I think everyone involved that has been against the Rugby World Cup going out should be ashamed of themselves. So really, really disappointing. And if anyone out there thinks it's going to work out well next year because of with the FIFA World Cup, you're dreaming. You're fucking dreaming. You know.
Well, the NRLW is on after the NRL season, Nick.
I couldn't give two flying fucks about the NRLW. I'd rather put my head in the fucking toilet and press the flush button. I couldn't give two fucks about women's
but the
rugby
World
league.
Cup's not happening anymore, and we got the NRLW to keep us entertained for about 6 or 8 weeks.
I'd rather masturbate on Pornhub for an hour than
seriously.
watch the NRLW. Jesus Christ. There's no way I'm watching that. No way. Bro, they're fucking shit. Did you see them in the Origin? Mate, I was watching the game. I was trying to be entertained, mate. The boobs are going flying everywhere. The players' fingers are going up their ass. It was just disgusting and filth. So, NRLW.
I think you're watching the wrong game.
Want to watch that?
I think you're watching the wrong game.
Mate, you should have seen it, mate. I was watching NRLW and they had the analysts on there, that Lana Ferguson, Ryan Sims, and who else was on there? They had some other cunt on there and Danica Mason and all that, and they were talking about the game, and I'm sitting there going, what's next? What you want Ryan's, what you want fucking what's her name? What's that? What you want Ali Brigginshaw and Jessica Surges? They have their own fucking statues next or something. Jesus Christ. They're not immortals. Fuck off. NRLW. Honestly, I would rather masturbate on Pornhub for an hour. Dead set.
Oh, jeez.
What? Go on, Lorenzo.
The only good thing about the NRLW is if you got like hired to be a referee, like if you're hired to be a referee in the NRLW, probably be the best thing, I reckon. That's what I prefer.
The NRLW sucks. It will never ever be as good as the men's game, and I would honestly rather masturbate for an hour. I'm serious. I will not be watching that shit. Anyway, let's move on, fellas. We're getting out of control here. Topic number 1. Now, this is a very, very controversial topic. I don't want anyone here to get upset about this. Should the NRL players be forced to have the COVID vaccine, or should it be the players' decision? I want your guys' take on it because some want it, some don't want it, some are 50-50 about it. It'll be up to the NRL and probably the government and all that. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's very controversial. Some will like it, some won't. I'll start with you, Sam. What do you reckon, mate? Should it be their own choice, or should they just have the jab anyway? What do you reckon, bro?
Absolutely, it should be their own choice. As I hinted at before, they are playing under such strict protocols anyway, mate, that if they stay in the bubble, they're not going to get affected by it anyway. But the question then comes in, do you want to go to the cafes, mate? Do you want to go have yourself a beer with your mates and your children and whatever? Well, you can't, mate, because the rest of Australia have 3/4 of the rest of the competition have got their shot. If you don't want to have it, well, I'm sorry, but you're now too greater of a risk to the competition, to your players, to your families and whatnot. So it's such a delicate situation, but the option has to be given to the players. That is the most respectful thing that you can do.
Yeah, great point, bro. Great point. NRL Vid 090, mate. Should the NRL players be forced to have the jab, or should it be the player's choice?
They shouldn't be forced, but I think it would be much safer if you were to choose having the jab because again, put others at risk if you don't take it or if you do. But like I don't know, I think taking it would be probably the best thing because obviously if you want to go to cafes, I guess see mates and take the jab, and I guess that's how it goes. Yeah. Just, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Chamber Videos, mate? What do you reckon, bro? Should they be forced to have it, or do you think it should be their own choice?
Well, they've already been forced into this bubble to make
Yeah.
sure that they catch COVID, and now they're going to try and force them to get a jab that most players aren't even confident on. Let me tell you this right now, all right? There has not been one single NRL player that has caught COVID. Not even with all the bubbles, all the restrictions you want to put on them. There's not one single player or coach that has caught COVID. So now you want to get this vaccine and say, oh, well, you're gonna be isolated from the side, or you're not even gonna play NRL if you don't get the vaccine. What happened to freedom of fucking speech? What happened to the freedom of you as not only as a player but as a human being to choose what you want and what you don't want? If players want the vaccine, they can get the vaccine. If players don't want the vaccine, don't force it on them. I mean, we haven't had it. We've had COVID scares, but we've never had a COVID case in the NRL. There have been players that have broke the breach, no doubt about it, but they haven't came back positive on their test for COVID. So I think the NRL is abusing their power a bit. They're abusing their power, and I reckon they should let the players have their choice. It's freedom of choice. I mean, they're human beings as well. They're citizens as well.
They've been dictated to so much for 18 months to 2 years now that if they are forced to have this shot against their own free will, there could be a player strike, and it could go on for weeks, if not months, man.
I mean, what's next? Oh, what's next? You gotta have your wife, or you gotta have the kids get the vaccine. If not, then you're again a threat. You're gonna have the players' families be forced to take the vaccine. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, look, I can see both sides of it. Like, I can see where the NRL is coming from here. They want to get the players, back up and running because they reckon, if they have the jab, then everything can go back to normal, which, let's be honest, we're not stupid. It ain't gonna be back to normal again until it gets 80% of the country vaccinated, which, let's be honest here, it probably won't happen. So, look, it should be their own choice. It feels like they're getting forced into it. I hope that doesn't happen, because if I get forced into it, it will get very, very ugly. We all saw the riots in Sydney, Brisbane, and I think Melbourne as well. We all saw what happened there, and that was not fucking good at all. It should really be their own choice. And, I saw a thing online the other day where it said you can't go to the footy unless you have the jab. I mean, that's just fucking bullshit. It's just taking away freedom of speech, just like you said, Champa. But look, the NRL players have gone through enough, like you guys said, and it should really be their own choice. They should not be forced to have something that they're not comfortable with, because, whether you believe in it, the vaccine or not, some people have had bad side effects from it. That's why people are so 50-50 about it. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have not had the jab, and I don't know if I will. I'm not really that comfortable with it at the moment. I don't know where I sit on it. At the moment, I have not received it, and I'm not really interested in it. But it could all change. You never know. But the players, they should not be forced to it. Now, I'll ask you guys this. Have you guys had the jab yet, or no? Not yet?
No, I haven't had the jab yet. I'm still 50-50 if I want it or not, but
yeah,
that's just my opinion. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm 50-50 on it as well. Sam, have you had it or nah?
I've booked mine in for early September for Pfizer.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, bro.
I'll let you
That'd
know,
be
mate.
interesting. NRL Vince, have you had the jab yet? Surely not.
Not yet, but we'll get it though.
Yeah. It's at the point where I think everyone's going to have it, Like, everyone's going to have to have some sort of jab, whether it be one jab or two. I think with the way the world's going, the way rugby league is going, I think it will probably get to the point where everyone will have to have at least one jab. So, who knows? We'll see how it all plans out, but it should be up to the players anyway. Kurt Manchester United fan in the chat says, I'm going out freedom protest next week, Nick. Fair enough, mate. I hope it goes well for you, bro. Stay safe anyway, man. Anyway, fellas, let's move into the round of footy. Some big games this weekend, obviously. So what I'm going to do, we're going to rip into it. We're going to go around it one by one. What I want you to do, so if I ask you a game, so tell me 1 to 12 or 13 plus who you think will win, and give me an anytime try scorer, and we'll see how we go. So round 21 of the NRL kicks off tomorrow night, 7:50 p.m. It is the Newcastle Knights versus the Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. Newcastle $1.30, Broncos at $3.75. Start with you, Sam, mate. What do you reckon for this one?
I mucked around with you last week, Nick, when I said that I tipped the Brisbane Broncos, but I changed that, and I'm going to tip the Newcastle Knights to win by 13 plus. Mitchell Pearce will be such a difference to the side, and as an anytime try scorer, I like one of the forwards. I think I'll go Mitchell Barnett.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Love Mitchell Barnett. Absolutely love him. NRL Vid 090, mate. Knights or the Broncos?
Knights 1 to 12. I reckon Harm or Hunt will get a double, and I can see Daniel Saifidi crashing in as well. So
that's a very nice one, bro. I like that a lot. Champa videos, bro. Knights or the Bronx?
I am going to go to the Knights here. I'm going to go to the Knights 1 to 12, and my anytime try scorer, I've gone 2. I've gone Daniel Saifidi as well, and Connor Watson.
Sounds good, bro. Look, I'm with you. I'm going to go Newcastle 13 plus. I think that'd be far too good for the Broncos. They're missing Tony Staggs. I think Newcastle win well, so I'm going to go Newcastle 13 plus. And you know what? I reckon Chris Randall will score a try. Chris Randall, like dummy half. He'll score a try. Knights 13 plus. Let's move on to Friday night footy. The first game kicking off at 6 p.m. up at Seabus Super Stadium. It is the Canberra Raiders up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Canberra $1.30, the Dragons at $3.50. Sam, what do you reckon for this one, bro?
Whoa, $3.50 about St. George. They've got 7 odd players back into the side as well. And Raiders were so disappointing the other week. That's a great price. I'm going to take the Dragons to win 1 to 12 and Michaeli Ravalawa to score a double as well.
Oh, that's very nice. I love it. Love it. NRL Vid 090, bro. Raiders or Dragons?
So Raiders 13 plus. Anytime try scorers, I reckon Emre Gula will get one, and I reckon Matt Timoko will get one as well.
Sounds good. Champa videos, Raiders or Dragons?
I'm going to go Raiders here. Raiders 1 to 12. I feel like it might be a close game. My anytime try scorer, I'm going to go Elliot Whitehead.
Like it. I'm with you. Raiders for mine. I think Raiders 1 to 12. And I'm going to go Joseph Tarpany to score a try. I reckon Joey Tarpany can score. He's a good player. I reckon he might score one. Let's move on to Friday night footy. Kicking off at 8:05 p.m. A top 4 clash. It is the Parramatta Eels up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. South Sydney are $1.35 here. The Eels at $3.25. Seabus Super Stadium, doubleheader, Friday night, mate. Sam, Eels and the Raiders, what do you reckon?
South Sydney. I'm going to tip by 1 to 12 in a really good game, all top 4 affair. And I'm going to tip Benji Marshall to get a try upon his return as well.
I like it. NRL Vids, bro, what do you reckon for this one, bro?
South's been 13 plus. I have no confidence in Parramatta. They're cooked. And I think I reckon Latrell will get a try as well. So, yeah.
Latrell to score, eh? Champa, mate, Eels or Rabbits?
Look, I am going to go the Eels here. I feel like if they can turn it around, they can turn around this game with Mitchell Moses back. I am going to have it as a close game, 1 to 12. So, Eels 1 to 12. And I reckon anytime try scorer, I'm going to go the man himself, Sibo.
Eels are a good chance, I agree, but I think Souths win 1 to 12 as well. I reckon it'll be a tight game, this one. Top 4 clash, really big game. I'm going to go the Bunnies 1 to 12, and I reckon. Cody Walker. Cody Walker will score for the Bunnies in this one. Cody Walker to score. Let's move on to Super Saturday. The first game kicking off at 3 p.m. up there at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast once again. The Warriors and the Sharks. Sharks are $1.35 here. The Warriors at $3.10. Sam, Warriors or Sharks?
Yeah, struggled with this one, but I'm going to tip the Cronulla Sharks because they've got just too much to play for as far as finals aspirations go. But it won't be a scoreless game for the Warriors. I'm going to tip Jazz Tavanga to get a try. I'm tipping Cronulla.
Ooh, Jazz Tavanga. Like it. NRL Vid 090, Warriors or Sharks?
I struggled to get a tip for this one as well, like Sam said, but I went Sharks because I trust them a bit more. I'll probably 1 to 12, and I reckon AFB and Phil Black will score a try.
Champa, what do you reckon, bro?
Well, yeah, this was a tough match. Warriors coming off a close win last week, and then the Sharks were embarrassed. I feel like if there's a time for the Sharks to turn around, it is this match. So I am going to go to the Sharks here. The close 1 to 12 game. My anytime try scorer, I'm going to go Jesse Raymond.
Look, I think you guys are drunk. I reckon Sharks win this game easy. I don't see the Warriors going close. The Warriors, for mine, last week they were lucky to win, and it was a shit game with the Tigers. So I'm going the Sharks 13 plus here, and I reckon Braden Trindle will score again. He's been going really well, Braden Trindle. Sharks 13 plus for mine. Saturday night, 5:30 p.m. Suncorp Stadium, big game this one. The Sydney Roosters up against the Penrith Panthers. Panthers $1.35. The Roosters at $3.25. Big game this one. Sam, what do you reckon for the Roosters Panthers?
Yeah, how good is this game going to be? I'm going to tip the Penrith Panthers to win 1 to 12. Anytime try scorer. How can you not back Charlie Staines in his try scoring form at the moment? Charlie Staines is an anytime try scorer. Penrith to win 1 to 12.
NRL Vids, mate. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'll tip Panthers. I believe they'll bounce back because apparently Nathan Cleary will play. So, I'll definitely tip them that's the case. So I'll tip Panthers 1 to 12, like by 1 point, I'll say. And I reckon Charlie Staines will get a try along with Victor Radley as well.
Very interesting. I like it. Champa, mate. Roosters Panthers. What do you reckon?
Well, this match is so close. Roosters have been flying as of lately. If it is true that Nathan Cleary is back, then I can't look any other way than Penrith. I feel like Nathan Cleary back in the side. It's the final piece into a great side that the Penrith is. So I'm going to go Penrith. I am going to go 13 plus, and my anytime try scorer, I'm going to go Matt Burton.
I'm going to go the Roosters 1 to 12. I think the Roosters will win. I think it'll be a really, really tight game. Could even go to Golden Point for all we know. And, look, I like the Roosters. They're playing good footy at the moment. James Tedesco's playing well. And Nathan Cleary, will he play? The news that I've been getting is that he won't play. Apparently, it's just a tactic from Ivan Cleary to try and put the Roosters off a little bit. So I can't see Nathan Cleary playing, to be honest. So Tookie's 1 to 12 for mine, and Satili Tupanua to score a try at any time. He's playing really well at the moment. Satili Tupanua. All right, let's go to the big one, the blockbuster, the mega buster, the game of the round, maybe the game of the year. This is going to be an absolute cracker. It could even be a grand final preview. Who knows? This is going to be amazing. Saturday night football, 7:35 p.m. kickoff on Fox and Channel 9. The Manly Warringah Seagulls versus the Melbourne Storm. Melbourne are $1.30, Manly at $3.75. This is going to be an absolute cracker. I cannot wait for this. Seriously, order Domino's, get your pizza, get your Doritos, whatever you need to get, alcohol, Coke, get it locked in.
Oh,
this is going to be
definitely.
I can't wait. I might even bring back the live streams this weekend just for this game. Who knows? We'll see how we go. I cannot wait. Manly Melbourne, an old rivalry. This is going to be unbelievable. Sam, Manly Melbourne. Who you got?
You're shit out of luck if you're going to try and get a hold of NRL Vid 090 on Saturday night, that's for sure. Goes for everybody else as well. But I'm going to tip the Melbourne Storm. I think their defence is going to be just a little bit better than Manly's. And I think Ryan Pappenhausen is going to come out and have a corker. But they're going to win 1-12 in an absolute banger.
Sounds good. All right, NRL Vids. Go on, brother. Manly Melbourne. What do you reckon?
I remember a couple of years ago, back in 2019, round 19, I remember everyone was against Manly that day. Well, Manly were I think were winning pretty well, and I think Storm were on a 10-game winning streak when we first back in 2019, and I think Manly broke the winning streak back then. So I reckon it'll happen. Manly will break the 16 winning streak. Manly's win by 1 point. Sherry Evans' left foot field goal in the 83rd minute of Golden Point. That's what I reckon. And I could see Saab scoring a try. I think it's a good night for Manly, I reckon. So I'll tip Manly by 1 point.
I like it. Champa videos, mate. Manly Melbourne. Who you got?
Well, they may be very apart in the ladder, but these teams are very, very similar. They've been doing similar things, and that's destroying sides that they're facing. I mean, they're putting 30 and 40 points on each side they face. So this is the tough one to choose. I've actually gone Manly on this one. I feel like if there's any team that can just ruin the dream run that Melbourne is having, it is Manly. They have the players, they have the talent, they're in form. I feel like Manly can break the streak, that can break Melbourne's winning streak. I'm going to go Manly. In a close one, though, my anytime try scorer, I'm actually going to go instead. I would say Tom Trbojevic, but I think that's a bit cliche. I'm going to go Morgan Harper.
I like it. Oh, man, it's going to be such a good game. Lorenzo, you mentioned it before, 2019, when Manly beat Melbourne and Golden Point. Now, if you go back to my old tipping videos, I actually declared Manly specials that round in 2019. I had Manly in that game, and I won a lot of fucking money off that game. I remember it really well. I had $100 on Manly, and I think I had someone to score. I can't remember who it was. I won a lot of fucking money that night. A lot of money. Good memories for me. I won't forget that night in that game because I shit myself 1,000 times watching it. What a game. What a game. Manly, Melbourne. So much quality from both sides. Manly's on a fucking roll at the moment. Melbourne, they haven't lost a game since round 3. They haven't lost the Suncorp since 2009. So much quality about this match. Oh, fuck. It's so hard to pick. Munster versus Foran. Cherry Evans versus Jerome Hughes. Turbo versus Nico Hines. I'm going Manly. I'm going the Seagulls. Manly 1-12. I don't know. Yes. I love Manly in this game. So much quality about both teams. It's so hard to pick. It could be a grand final preview, but I think Manly win 1-12. It's going to be the most high quality game of the season, and I think Manly win 1-12. And I reckon Turbo will score a try and be man of the match. He's going to be. This could be the game of the century. It could be the game of the year. Paddy G in the chat just said what I just said. Genius. This is going to be a bloodbath, mouth-watering game. Someone throw a fucking punch. It's the Battle of Brookie. Someone throw a punch on Saturday night, please. Fuck. I'll even pay that fine at the NRL judiciary. I don't care. I want to see it happen. But I'm going to go Manly 1-12. I think the quality of the game is going to be unreal. Manly 1-12. Turbo to score. I cannot wait. Let's move on to Sunday football. We go from a world-class quality game to a fucking snooze fest. Jesus Christ!
It's like watching a blockbuster Hollywood movie to watching a shitty softcore porn video. That's how terrible it is.
Jesus Christ! You go from potentially the game of the year to one of the worst games I've seen on paper all year. Sunday afternoon footy, fellas, kicking off at 1:50 p.m. Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. It's a double header. It's the Bulldogs versus the Tigers. The Tigers are $1.45 favourites. The Dogs at $2.75. Honestly, I don't give a flying fuck who wins this game. We'll start with Champa, mate, because it's your boys, the Tigers, mate. What do you reckon about this one?
Oh my God! This if we want to save any reputation we have left, we need to win this match. I am actually tipping my boys here. I feel like the Tigers can win this match. I'm going a 13+ win. My anytime try scorer, I am going to go Tom Talau, and I'll say this to everyone watching. If the Bulldogs beat the Tigers, I will shave my beard. There it is.
Whoa!
I've said it. I'm not taking it back.
All right. Sounds good. Well, NRL Vid 090, mate. Dogs, Tigers.
No, Dogs. I'm sorry, but I like Dogs on Sunday. I think they've been in some good form lately, despite them losing. I think win. I've got to say also, I'm a big fan of Beyond Otto at 6. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes because I'm a big fan of him. So I think it's gonna be good. I think it could be a tight game, like a high scoring game, but be tight at the same time. But yeah, I couldn't really care less about it overall. But back in Adam Elliott to score.
Go on, Sam. What do you reckon, bro? Dogs or Tigers?
Mate, Champa, man, just the West Tigers, I can't tip them for the rest of the season. What a dreadful bloody outing they had last week. I say that with so much respect towards you, mate, but I'm going to tip the Bulldogs to win, and I'm going to have Nick Meaney to scoot over and score a try.
Jesus Christ. Where do I start here? Well, the Tigers against the Warriors last week might have been one of the worst games of football I've seen this year. It's definitely in the top 10. It was fucking god-awful. And then I watched the Bulldogs against the Gold Coast, and they showed me absolutely nothing. But the one thing that the Bulldogs did, which I'm a fan of, they got rid of Kyle Flanagan. Averillo is playing pretty well at the moment, in my opinion. Now, I don't know which way to go here, but Champa videos, bro. You might want to get the shaver ready because your beard's going to be fucked after this one. I'm going to Dogs 1-12 with absolutely no confidence. You could literally go and get a $2 coin and toss the coin. Who knows? It could even be a fucking draw for all we know. But I'm going to go the Dogs 1-12, and I reckon other Siamona Fanal, the Bulldogs front row, will score a try. I reckon he'll score. So that's my tip. What's that?
I'm sweating right now because I'm a bit worried now.
Who knows who's going to win that game? And the final game of round 21 of the NRL kicks off at 4:05 p.m. up at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. It is the Gold Coast Titans versus the North Queensland Cowboys. The Titans are $1.30. The Cowboys at $3.50. Sam, mate, we're both Cowboys fans. What do you reckon for this one, bro?
Season's over. Shackles are off. There's a massive amount of changes with Jason Tambololo in the second row. He'll be a try scorer. Cowboys are going to win 1-12 this Sunday.
I love what you just said. It makes me really happy hearing that. I hope you're right. I really do. NRL Vid 090, Titans or Cowboys, bro?
I think we're going to say goodbye to Nick soon. I said Titans win 1-12 on Sunday. And I think Philip Samuel will score tries. Like I said, he's gone. Like I said.
I'm still catching that shrapnel back here every time. Every time, man, I catch the shrapnel. Fair income.
All right. Go on.
Well, I don't know. Look, we'll see.
NRL Vids, bro. Who was your try scorer?
Brian Kelly.
I was gonna say if you had said Ash Failure, I would have walked out. I dead said would have left the room if you had said that.
I wouldn't have said that. No way. No way.
Anyway, Champa, bro, Titans or Cows?
Look, I'm actually going to go Cowboys.
Hey!
Really?
Malolo on the edge. I feel like that's actually a good tactic made. It's a good attacking decision made. I don't say that with confidence though, but I'm not the biggest fan of Gold Coast. I feel like they're an overhyped team. So if there's anyone that can beat them, I reckon it's the Cowboys. I mean, you got Tamlo on the edge, you got Talangi, you got Holmes. I don't see how the Cowboys can't win. I honestly don't see how the Cowboys can't win. 1-12, and my anytime try scorer, well, he's on the edge. I'm going Tamalolo.
Right, I'll tell you what. Sam made a good point. The chuckles are off. We've got nothing to fucking play for but pride now. I'll tell you what. Now Holmes is back in the side. He's going to fix the attack up a lot. Tamalolo's on an edge. He's going to worry the defensive line. You watch on Sunday afternoon. Tamalolo gets the ball. You watch the defensive line just go like this. They'll be all over the shop. I'm telling you, the Titans are an overrated club. They're a bunch of fuck faces. I don't like any of them. They can all go and get themselves fucked. The Cowboys will win this game, and the Cowboys won't just win. They will win well. Cowboys 13+. I'm telling you, the Cowboys will win well Sunday. The Titans have shown that they have some bad parts about them. Yes, the Cowboys have shown worse things than the Titans have this year, without a doubt. But, hey, they've got nothing to lose. They have absolutely nothing to lose. And here's the thing, right? If the fucking Broncos can beat the Roosters at the SCG earlier in the year for Jake Friend's retirement, 13+, there's absolutely no reason why the Cowboys can't do the same thing against the Gold Coast. So for mine, Cowboys to win, 13+. Tamalolo will score the first try of the game. Kyle Felt will bag one in the corner. And Val Holmes will score one as well. Cowboys, 13+. It is the bet of the year. And I'm telling you right now, if the Cowboys get up 13+, send me some alcohol next week, fellas. I'll drown myself in it when we play the fucking Tigers, our bogey team. I'm telling you. And then, I'm telling you, I will drown myself in the alcohol if we play. I'll tell you right now. But hey, if we lose, I'll be sitting in the corner overnight, depressed, having flashbacks about the fucking game. So hopefully we get up. But
if we lose, I'll have no bid.
You'll have no bid. You better be in the bin, hanging out with the rest of the West Tigers team, who pretty much should be in the bin after the way they've been going this year. And then if the Cowboys lose this week to the Titans, well, my head will be through a wall because that'll be back-to-back losses to the Queensland sides, which will just probably give me some sort of fucking bad fucking vibe. And then, I mean, I can imagine if the Seagulls get beat by the Storm, NRL Vids will be fuming. So who knows? Honestly, it's going to be a good round of footy nonetheless.
Not really.
Anything else, you guys? Anything you guys want to mention?
Oh, I've said my piece. What a great show we had.
Been fantastic.
No, really good show. Thank you again. It's the start of doing this every Wednesday night, and if this is what's gonna come towards us in the near future, bring it on, man. I've had an absolute ball. Thank you very much, and thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel and me reaching 100 subscribers recently. Thank you very, very much.
Well, it's been fantastic, Sam, and you've done really well, and Lorenzo's done well as usual. Champion videos, mate. Thanks for being on the show. Make sure you guys go check out the channels. But before we go, boys, before we get out of here, what's the one team that you guarantee will win this weekend? We'll go around real quick. Sam, what team do you guarantee to win this weekend?
Newcastle.
Newcastle tomorrow night? You guarantee it. Okay, nice. Champa, mate, what team do you reckon is guaranteed to win this weekend?
Don't call me crazy, but Manly.
Holy fuck.
Oh,
all right.
shit.
Fronty's House and Seagulls. All right. I like it. Champa, NRL Vids, bro, what's your guarantee tip of the round, bro?
Sharks to beat Warriors.
All right. My guarantee of the round, I'm going to go. Oh, there's some hard ones, bro. I think. Oh, fuck me. It's hard, but I'll tell you right now. All right, Souths. Souths will beat the Eels. I guarantee that will happen. South will beat the Eels. But anyway, guys, that's it for the show. Make sure you guys like the video, comment your thoughts on the show if you missed it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, guys. We're getting out of here. Have a fantastic Wednesday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Thursday night football review between the Knights and the Broncos for round 21. Until then, stay safe in your lockdowns. Have a fantastic night and a great day tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Come on, Tigers.
Adios.